Currently, I've worked 8 years with the Lions, so they've all been on the website, but my role has evolved a bit. I started out doing just kind of web editing stuff, and it's shifted to really being a managing editor. So we've got 2 writers, Tim Twentyman and Mike O'Hara, who's a longtime columnist in this area. He actually used to work for my grandfather at the Detroit News. Eastern was the best choice for me. I really enjoyed the campus. Like, that was a really big thing for me, was that it was a nice enclosed campus and it just felt more homey to me and not so much like I was in the middle of a city. I felt like I was actually in the middle of a school environment. I liked the class sizes and just the programs that were offered there, but mostly it was just kind of the feel of the school itself. No, honestly, anything that dealt with real world skills. So anything where I was actually going out and doing anything that I could translate to, if I was interviewing for a position, internship, and I could say, I actually went out and helped organize this event, or I helped facilitate this PR campaign or whatever it was. So those things were really, really beneficial to me, and also anything that had to do with writing. It's one of my best skills that I have, and so anything that helped me to refine my writing was really beneficial. The biggest thing for me at Eastern was the contacts that I made. One of the things I actually didn't know about at Eastern was the sports information program, which is, if I'd have known about it at the outset, I probably would have taken advantage of that from the beginning. But I didn't even know what sports information was. And ultimately, through a resume building program, I ended up meeting the person I'm actually now married to. But he is the basketball SID at the University of Michigan. So sports information director, which is media relations for college athletics. So through him, I was able to intern at Michigan and learned a lot of, real world skills. Make sure that when you're going into it, if you have any idea of what it is that you want to do, try to pick a minor or something that's not a replication of your major, that it actually helps hone in on the skills that you want. I ended up doing a marketing minor just because I thought that was what I was supposed to do. In reality, I ended up having to kind of go back and get a diploma for web design and graphic design, because I ultimately ended up going in the web route, because basically marketing is kind of PR on a business side. So really to specify, to get a wide range of skills as opposed to just kind of getting the same skills with both of those. And then the other one is just, get to know as many people as you can while you're still in school. Utilize the resources that are there to help connect you with people that can help you further, the career that you want, because, you need to know what you're doing. You need to be good at the job that you want to do, but it really boils down to who you know and who can get you into, key spots so that you can succeed and get where you want to go. The whole idea of your messaging, working with a professional team, you need to edit yourself. You can't just, even though things are changing now and we want to try to be, one of the mainstream media, you've got to think in terms of an organization and a business and what, our brand is about, what our messaging is about. So, you can't really just kind of fly by the seat of your pants and say whatever comes to mind. You have to make sure that you're always looking out for the best interests of your executives, your players, your coaches. So the PR mindset that I've had has always served me really well in that regard, to where I tend to catch that, especially now. It started off with my writing, but now it's transitioned to my editing, to where I've got people who are writing for me who are from just a straight journalistic background. And so they might not think in terms of, well, when you see the head coach later today, what is he going to think about the fact that our website just said X? So, that's something that's really benefited me. But in regards to the whole, spanning your skills as well, it is good to be diverse in regards to what it is that you get out of college, because, it's typical now for people to have a bachelor's degree, but it's really what skills can you bring to the table? And that's something that I've learned quite a bit actually from interviewing intern candidates is that once you actually start doing the interviewing and you need something out of somebody, you learn what it is that people were looking for out of you. And it's really just, what can you do? You know, what are the specific skills that you can do? How much experience do you have in it? And what all did you do to do as much as you could in a short amount of time? You want to see someone who has put everything that they've had into getting as far as they could. You know, we've had people come in who, I ran the entire sports information department and did 15 media guides, and I was the only person in that department, and they said, do whatever you want. And so I did. So, you know, you just have people that are so passionate that they're willing to work for free. They're willing to, you know, go above and beyond to just accrue as many skills as they possibly can. Definitely the most fun that I have is the relationships and the interactions that I have here. It's just really fun to be able to meet all these different people and come up with different stories about people, and that sounds bad, but just to be able to work with all these people, you know, you kind of forget, I think, as far as my job specifically, I forget kind of where I am sometimes. You know, I've gotten friends, you know, on an NFL field when I'm traveling. If there's someone, there was a friend I have in San Francisco, and she's a diehard 49ers fan, and I got her on the field, and it's just the awe that they have from being, you know, 30 feet away from, you know, Alex Smith. And, you know, earlier I was eating breakfast with Calvin Johnson. So, you know, it's kind of one of those things where things become your normal, and you don't even necessarily recognize what you get to experience. But at the same time, I'm good at my job because it seems normal. But it's just honestly just the relationships, just meeting people, getting to interact with people. I love interviewing, and I really enjoy just hearing what people have to say and finding stories. So whether it be the football analysis, which I also really love, I enjoy breaking down the game, to kind of the human interest sides of things, and just, you know, all these guys come from different backgrounds, and, you know, they're in football for different reasons, and just the things that happen in this building are just so entertaining. I mean, you've got people singing in cafeteria lines, rapping about, you know, ribs, and, you know, guys get all excited about biscuits. Honey biscuits are very exciting here. A lot of guys sing about honey biscuits while they're getting them. It's so, you know, there's lots of stories that, you know, recur with me and my coworkers just about different guys that are just really funny, and just things that happen. I mean, you'll just be sitting there in the cafeteria, and Lord knows what's going to happen. I mean, guys walk in wearing, you know, neon, or, you know, just things like that. You know, it's just really fun.